it would have been more epic because this is would have
It-
been my match card if they had booked this a year earlier.
yeah.
If NXT TNA Invasion happened in 2024, my women's TNA team would be led by Jordynne Grace, who was the TNA Knockouts champion.
Yeah.
Jordynne Grace, Masha, because she doesn't have any issues yet, especially last year we didn't know she had those issues. Masha would be there. Jordynne Grace, Masha, Rosemary, who I think is like TNA, we didn't see Rosemary at all. Um, and then who else could maybe Havoc or Lei Ling, whichever. But that fourth one, or could be a newbie, whatever, could be an ex
Yeah.
TNA. WWE then would be led by Giulia,
Stephanie
who's the NXT,
Vaquer.
Stephanie Vaquer, which was the North American Women's Champion. I would still put Soul, of course. Like, how could you miss Soul? And who was my other one? I think Lash. Lash Legend was my other one. But here is my twist, actually, Dre. This is why I was so excited about this. This is my twist. So they're not doing 4-on-4, they're doing 5-on-5. So the women's team, then they would be like, there needs to be more stake. Because there's already stake with the Jordynne thing, and they already have their storyline, and they're really hardcore TNA. What if Ava just goes, you know what? Adam and what's the other one's name? Matt. Who are the general managers? Adam Pierce
Adam Pierce
and Magnus.
no.
I call him Magnus from TNA. I don't forget his
Yeah.
name.
What's his name?
I forget his name. He's Magnus to me. Adam Pierce and Magnus. And then they go, we need a WWE superstar. We need a mainstay superstar to really add something to this. And then Magnus goes, okay, you can take Bianca Belair. And who is the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, a former NXT Women's Champion. And then Santino is like, well, if you are bringing in another one, I am bringing someone in, and you will be surprised at who it would be. And then, maybe a week before, Santino announces that the women's TNA team will be completed by the other half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Trinity.
Nice.
Then it sets, then there's something there, like, what is this? Then, it would have set up that I did this to Jade, everything, all that, Bianca and Trinity get it. And
So
I would, right? And then you don't put anybody over because Trinity pins Bianca. So nobody loses anything. Trinity takes the win for the team because she's the heel. Bianca needs to chase. So Trinity pins and then uses that moment to admit that she destroyed Jade Cargill. That would have been perfect for the women. Here's my idea for the men. So for the men, you would have, so again, we have to hire the stakes, right? So the team would be led by, was Oba, Femi, or Trick the NXT champion?
It was Oba.
Oba, and then you have Trick, of course. Then you have Ethan Page, and I'll get to why I put Ethan Page. So you have Oba, Trick, Ethan.
Javon Evans.
No, Javon is I'm putting him in a different place in the card. I'll let you know what. Wait, who was my other one for Team NXT? I think Carmelo was still there, so you can still put Carmelo.
No,
right?
Carmelo was WWE already.
Oh, he was already SmackDown? Yeah. Okay, so not Carmelo. Who can we put?
I would say the Don of NXT.
Yeah, okay, yes. Tony D'Angelo. Because he was North American champion. So you can put Tony, doesn't matter. And then they do the same thing where Adam Pierce goes, and you know what? To spice things up, we're putting Finn Bálor into that team because Finn is NXT. So you have the 5 men. So team captain, Oba Femi, but you have Finn Bálor part of the team. Santino doesn't like it. Santino's like, this is so unfair. But his team is Joe Hendry, Moose. Who was my other one? Oh my god, I had another.
What's his name?
Mike Santana. Frankie Kazarian. So you have like these TNAers, right? And then Frankie Kazarian. And then Santino at that same week announces, and my final closer for Team TNA is AJ Styles. And it's like, and he comes out with his TNA team. I am. Oh my god, it'd be so cool. Then AJ pins Finn. So again, I'm gonna put Team TNA over in this card. So Team TNA wins again because AJ pins Finn. The rest of the card. Oh, sorry, no, not Mike Santana. Sorry, it wasn't Mike Santana in my. It was Josh Alexander.
Okay.
Because Ethan Page and Josh Alexander have history. So the moment those two get tagged in, they were former TNA Tag Team Champions together as the North. So, and the rumor is, and that's why I think it brings a lot of stake, is that Ethan didn't want to lose to Josh when he left for AEW. And Josh was pissed. And TNA was pissed at Ethan for not wanting to go put Josh over. So that would have been an amazing team because you have, my God, just like, right? It would have been better a year ago. And then my other parts of the card, Javon Evans would be against Leon Taylor for the X Division Championship. I think TNA X Division Championship. And then, sorry, it wasn't. Yeah, and then you'd have the TNA Knockouts tag team titles defended also at that pay-per-view, so that there was something you'd have TNA go over. And then I would put an NXT tag team title match, and it wouldn't be Fraxium. I would have put Motor City Machine Guns in NXT first.
Yeah.
They would have been the NXT tag team champions. They would go against the TNA tag team champions, the Hardys.
Yeah.
That would have been WWE versus TNA at its finest. Motor City Machine Guns versus the Hardys. And put the Hardys over, and be like,
Sure.
they won, and they're still doing it.